We the people, ABC Amber TV, Ambazonia Broadcasting Corporation. The voice of the voiceless, the voice of Ambazonia, connecting the world from Africa. With untold stories, Africa's best.
Our vision in this interim government is to make ABC a leader and a real warhorse of our struggle. We want to grow it, expand it, hire and train more hands, and broadcast round the clock, around the world, and take command of the media space of this world.
You can enjoy all round the clock 24/7 exclusive moments of bliss as an ABC Amber TV Club member. A cappella. Latest Nigerian/African movies, global politics, ABC Amber News and updates, historical documentaries, and lots more. In our daily programs, we have Undaunted, ABC Amber News, bringing into the news untold stories with Onyi Okpala and Star Smart. Exclusive discussion, revolutionary panel conversation, infotainment, edutainment, intro governmental debates on topical issues with Tar Paddy King, State of the Liberation Movement, Fronting IG and People of Ambazonia's Position, the Struggles Weekly Update with Secretary Martin Mungwa, PhD, FASC. Health is Wealth, Health Education and Awareness within the Ambazonian community with Dr. Yaya. Liberation Prayer, an intercessory ministry for Ambazonia with Pastor Victor Mba. Our Freedom, spiritual awareness and education for the Ambazonian community with Pastor Victor Mba and Pastor Commando. Church and Politics, neutralizing the myths and preconceived religious and political philosophies that limit the Christian involvement in the realms of decent politics with Pastor Commando. The Horizon, the voice of the Ambazonian woman with Dr. Patience Abiedo and Lady Casey. Our Amber History, bringing to limelight the hidden history of Ambazonia to the world with Pastor Commando. Appointment on community building, education on patriotism within the Ambazonian communities with RACHAEL, ITA TIMA. Ethics for an Emerging Nation, watchdog of basic principles and morals of a nation at war with Dorothy Ngwa. Upcoming programs: Pigeon News, Vernacular Talk Show, County Roots, Activists Corner, Amber Focus, only on ABC Amber Television. We the people, the voice of the voiceless. For 24/7 access, subscribe as a club member on www.abcambertv.com/subscribe.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, fellow Ambazonians. Welcome again. Today is another Tuesday. It's another wonderful day for the people of Ambazonia. We thank God that we are alive and we are able to celebrate another wonderful day. Greetings to every Ambazonian, friends in solidarity of the Ambazonian quest all over the world, Ambazonians in Americas, in Europe, in Asia, in Africa, most especially those that are bearing the brunt on home front, and those that are on ground one, ground two, ground three, and those that are still on their way running and fleeing for their lives, running away from persecution. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is another Tuesday. I greet you with the host of the ABC team, the host of the communications department in the Amazonian quest for sovereignty. We tell you a wonderful day. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are just joining, please share the link, call somebody, get glued to your screen, because in no distant time, you will be receiving, you will be hearing, um, will be exchanging ideas wonderfully as we usually do. As I used to say, we do not know it all, but by the grace of God, the little ones that have been communicated to us, the ones that you on home front, you on ground one, wherever you are, you must have written, you must have shared with us. That is what we are sharing in a brighter, in a broader base. Because some people are watching us now through YouTube, through Facebook, through the satellite. So, fellow brothers and sisters, it is a patriotic responsibility to be able to share this wonderful program and any other program on ABC, because this is our national television. It is the source from where we get our absolute and obsolete information, where we are not cheated, where it is not reduced, where it is not tainted, where it is not daunted, So this is where we get all that which it will strengthen us to take us on a higher step, further, further, further into a victorious quest for our homeland. So, ladies and gentlemen, taking much of your time, I will just let you know that for those of us who have seen the flyer, I'm not supposed to be here today because the main topic on this subject, the subject of today, which is supposed to be, is President Sako, is President Dr. Samuel Ikome Sako really an obstructor and a threat in safeguarding the Amazonian sovereignty per se? You know, all of us, in our little way, we can say so many things about such a topic, but notwithstanding, we are going to leave that to some experts who have experience, first-hand information, first-hand contacts in some areas. He is going to join us very soon so we could share this wonderful topic. Ladies and gentlemen, while the clock is ticking and we are hoping that he will be here anytime from now, I just want to let us know that, or to remind us that this is the end of the month of May, the end of the month of May, and the month of June has a very significant, unforgettable memorial celebration day in the lives of humans, in the life of fellow humans as you and I. So, by so doing, I will want to remind us that this month of June, which is just a day or so, a day or two ahead of us, depending on your location. Some people are already in June. Some are still getting to wake up to June. Some still have 1 or 2 days to go in the month of June. But notwithstanding, it is the refugee month. It is the refugee month, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Amazonians. You see, most of us, most Amazonians, most human beings, whether in high portfolios, sitting in many offices today, bearing whatever capacity, whatever status they might have acquired this time around. If you look into their backgrounds, you will register that most of them have a refugee background. They came from somewhere, moving to somewhere, and at the end of the day, they are where they are today. So, and in our IG structure, the interim government of the Federal Republic of Amazonia has a very solid department, ladies and gentlemen. It has this powerful department, which is the Health and Social Services. Being a refugee is a social status. It is a particular description of who, why, and what a refugee. Who is a refugee? So I will not answer that yet, or I will not explain that yet, but I will let us know that in the structure, in the administrative cabinet, ministerial sectors and structures of the Federal Republic of Amazonia, we have a department called the Health and Social Services, popularly known as the HSS. People used to ask, what is HSS? What are they responsible for? We all know this. I said before in previous two shows programs that this is one of the first departments that started existing. One of the first that started off as soon as this crisis was this genocidal war started upon us. The first set of crisis people that we had were the prisoners, the Amazonian prisoners of war, people who were arrested indiscriminately, taken to different prisons. And you know, the next humanitarian crisis that came up when extrajudicial killings started taking place. When on the 22nd of September, people were killed, people started fleeing for their lives. Some had to cross borders. And you know, the moment you cross borders, you are a refugee. This is a point to reckon with, whether you like it or not, whether you are for Amazonia or you are not for Amazonia. Whether you are in America, you look at yourself, you are a refugee. There is a statement, there is a story that you build up to give you a line that you are being persecuted from where you are coming from. In the same manner, those that are sitting in in um, in La République du Cameroon, those that have fled and they are now presently in La République du Cameroon, they are not far. They are refugees. They are refugees because you have crossed the border. You have crossed the border of your home country, which is Southern Cameroons, the one that got its independence, that had its international boundaries on the 1st of October 1961, because La République du Cameroon had its own independence on the 1st of January in 1960, and there were international pillars that distinguished, that demarcated Southern Cameroons from the Republic of Cameroon. So if you have crossed that boundary, which we can now really identify that it is at Matazen for those coming from the northern zone and entering into La République du Cameroon, the entry point officially is at Matazen. The official entry point from southern zone to the littoral, which is in the French Cameroon, it is at the Mongo Bridge, even though some people dispute the fact that it is even right at the Bikoko junction. So, no, no, I missed it. Yes, the roundabout that the T junction that goes to the direction of Kongsamba, and the other one goes to Douala. But then let's leave it at that. But if you have crossed, you are in the Republic, you are a refugee. There are some others who were migrants, who supposedly migrated when we thought we were still whom we were with them. They were there thinking. But at this point in time, you should be able to recognize the fact that you are a foreigner in a foreign land. Whether you accept it or not, Joe, sociopolitical demarcations indicate, and that is where you are. Okay, come to the point that we want to say today, that refugees, who are refugees? Refugees are people. The refugee, according to Wikipedia, a refugee is conventionally speaking, is a person who has lost the protection of his or her country of origin and who cannot or is unwilling to return there due to the well-founded fear of persecution, and this person needs international protection. And there is a whole world organization that is responsible for such people, for refugees. So there is another article I'm going to read from a journal that tells us that the refugee status in Africa just like many other things that are being treated from the African perspective as non grata, as if it doesn't matter. The people can just migrate and stay anywhere. And if we look at it critically, many people have fled their countries. They are living in another African countries. They do not think that it is necessary for them to go and let the community, let the international community know that I'm fleeing from this country because of the status that the fear of being persecuted, for fear say that if I stay for my country, look at wetin wey dey go on, like the case now in Southern Cameroon. There's this hot genocidal killing, targeted killings that is ongoing. Whether you accept it or not, that is just the fact. The fact that some things are, are haphazardly functioning doesn't mean that all is well. This is where we are. People are being persecuted, and therefore, as a result, we have so many refugees who are now in Nigeria, in Ghana, in Benin Republic. And you know what? Many of these our people, they have not followed the official standards to go and say, I am fleeing from my home country, from being persecuted, from my village has been burned down just because of whom I am. Many haven't done that. That does not mean that they are not refugees. The point there is that he or she who is fleeing away from their country of origin for fear of being persecuted, for fear of being killed, where protection, there's no protection there. So that is why it is advised that most of our people who have left Amazonia, most of people who have left Southern Cameroons, they should be able to find themselves, get yourself registered. We hear with many and we have facts. I will not talk much on this because on the 20th of June this year, which is the World International Refugee Day, our Secretary of State for the HSS is going to, there will be, is just going to say something, to encourage our refugees that are out there, that some points will be made to us, what all those that have fled homeland, what they should do. And in the course of doing this small research and looking into journals and other articles, there are some pertinent people who have been able to make statements about refugees or people being persecuted, people who are fleeing their homelands. I read in this refugees in Africa, the geopolitical, the geopolitics forced displacement. It is a kind of geopolitics displacement. There is war, there is persecution, there is genocide, there's all these human created situations that cause people to flee their homeland. The ones in Amazonia, we cannot overemphasize. It is no longer a story. The fact that people are still moving freely within the cities, but go into the hinterlands, go into Nigeria, you will see the sufferings of our people who have fled their homelands because they have been chased out, they've been butchered, they've been roasted in their homes, they've burned down villages and caused them to be what they are today, refugees, stranger in another man's land. So this is it. I was able to read in Refugees in Africa, the geopolitics and forced displacement. It is a journal um, collected by Michael Schulthesis, and one person was able to comment there that of Elie Wiesel. Elie Wiesel wrote in 1986 that I swore never to be silent. Please listen to this quotation very well and see if you can identify yourself, or you are the one that have sworn. Are you don't you be one of those people the way they don't talk, so go she don't quiet when you see injustice they go on, or you be part of the people the way they still talk say wait it concern me. wetin concern me. Okay, this person say, I swore never to be silent wherever and whenever human beings endure suffering and humiliation. I swore never to be silent whenever and wherever human beings endure sufferings and humiliation. Can you imagine that? He said we must always take sides because many of us, we are just so lukewarm in the plight of the Amazonian people, in the plight of our refugees. We have sat quiet thinking that it not concern me. But if you look at all of our social media handles, portals, Facebook and YouTube and all these things, you must have seen images, older people, people in need who have fled their homelands and they are languishing in refugee camps in Nigeria, maybe in settlements, maybe not even registered because there's nobody to even go there and register there. Maybe because the UNHCR, that's the United Nations Refugees, maybe they themselves they have stopped registering or taking cognizance of Amazonians and thereby letting these people to suffer on their own. This is why this woman says, I swore never to be silent wherever human beings endure sufferings and humiliation. Because this is human humiliation. People who have been pushed out of their homes, pushed out of their own villages, pushed out of what where they call home. People who have been pushed out from where they call home, people who have been humiliated, take their identity ripped off them, their nakedness has been shown out to the public, but yet people stay silent. Are you one of those? Are you also those people who also stay quiet when human beings are undergoing torture? He says we must always take sides because when we stay quiet, then we are encouraging injustice. And he says we must always take sides because neutrality helps. Neutrality, he said we must always take sides because neutrality helps the oppressors and not the victims. If we decide to stay quiet, this is how the oppressor will continue. Like fellow Amazonians all over the world, those of us that are claiming to be quiet, those of us that have refused to do the needful, this is why you see our people continually being victimized. She further says, silence encourages the tormentor and, no, and never the tormented. If you stay quiet in the face of injustice, there you will see the tormentor will continually doing it. They will say nobody cares. It's just like orphan, It's just like orphan picking where it go say where they'll say, who care about you? Nobody bothers about you. Nobody worries about you. You are not a concern to any of us. So this is something that we are saying that every one of us, it is our responsibility to be active, especially this month of the refugee month. We have to be active, brothers and sisters. There was another article that came up that gave us a brief statistics to let us know that even the refugee status started even in 1960 in Africa. It increased in the 1970s. It was only in the 80s that refugee status were they even claimed to recognize refugee situations during a convention held in Geneva titled the International Conference on Assistance to Refugees. It was held in Geneva in 1981, whereas 20 or 30 years before, refugee status was already existing in Africa. So, ladies and gentlemen, We are evolving. We are people evolving. Evolution is taking place, and people are creating awareness. How then does it come that most of us, most of the black people, most of most people have migrated, getting to a border country, they lay claim of asylum seeking or as refugee. And it now comes to your own turn that your fellow brothers and sisters have been put under this inhuman condition forcefully. And then we look at the fact that the UNHCR, in some way or the other, has failed in its own responsibility of sustaining these our people as they should be. If you look at it critically, this is why the interim government is always, most times, having humanitarian support to these people, because most of them, the UNHCR has not even registered them, they are not in their list. So this is community building, appointment on community building. These are words to encourage our people to know that in Ambazonia, in Ambazonia sovereignty quest, we have a community of Ambazonians who have fallen under the status of refugees. We have to strengthen this community. We have to shout loud, loud, loud wherever we are in our various countries that there are refugees that are not yet registered. And for those of us who have ignorantly staying in all of these countries but have not gone over to hand over yourself as a refugee, it is not a very good thing, because you are in that country. It is good to have a status, because the reasons why you fled your homeland is as clear as daylight. There is a genocide, targeted killing, invaders. Your country has been annexed, your country has been invaded over the years. People have been talking, but now this is the highlight, this is the highest point of it, where it has resulted to the fact that you as an individual, you had to leave your village, your settlement. Now you find yourself where you are. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Ambazonians, it is our joint responsibility to see that we take care of our refugee community. Why do we say this? This month of June is a month of World Refugee Day. It is a World Refugee Month, which is being celebrated on the 26th of, I beg your pardon, on the 20th of June every year all over the world. I work with the same status of people. That same day, I'm also going. There are a lot of preparations already going on. So our people down there, it is not a wonderful status to be celebrated or to be joyful about, because it's never a thing of joy or a thing of peace for somebody to leave their homeland and resettle in another person's country. Most especially when it is when you are there as a student, when you are not going as a student, because most people leave, they get scholarship, they go abroad to study. They go abroad to study. And when you go abroad to study, it is a different thing. Your status is different. There are benefits that await you in that country. But if you are forced to leave your homeland, as I read, who is a refugee is somebody that is being persecuted. That person is being persecuted in his own country of origin, and that person needs international protection. As the case of Africa, is not like the ones in Europe and America, because you cannot just walk into Europe and you start staying in the European. You can let me say you cannot just leave. Uh, um, you cannot just leave Romania or and then enter Germany and start staying there because you have a white skin. It's a white country. No, it doesn't work that way. You must, or you just leave Switzerland, or because there's war in Switzerland, or there is war like now there's a Ukrainian war. Ukrainians have been able to come into neighboring countries, Germany, Austria, Belgium, everywhere. As you come, there is a registration center. You register yourself. They know that you have come in. But you know our African context. Who prepares this for us? This is why we have, that is how it extends to the fact that nobody even cares to uh, if you are really under the refugee status of the about 50,000 or 500 more thousand of refugees that we have in Nigeria. If you ask how many of them are recognized or even registered by the under the UNHCR, how many? And again, we get reports that most of them, their feeding money, the welfare money that they're supposed to give them. Imagine they used to give them 7,000. They now brought it to 2,000 or 1,700 naira. What can 1,700 naira do to you? It's not even up to $1. It's not even up to $1. Then how can somebody survive under that status? That is why the HSS is appealing to every Amazonian, home and abroad, to be able to answer to supporting this group of people, this community of our people, this refugee community of ours. Because refugee status in Africa is treated just the same way every other thing is being treated. It's just that if it has not gotten to our doorsteps, we will not understand what it is. But I believe for those who have been watching our fora, those who have been watching our in most of our WhatsApp fora, you must have seen young girls playing. You see all unwanted pregnancies. Some of them they give birth, they sell the children because they don't have the means. This whole situation has turned the human existence for fellow Amazonians who are refugees across the border. At the same time, this is why we see the enemy is seemingly to take advantage, working together with the coup plotters of our sovereignty to try to lure them back into the place where safety is not even there, into the place where there are no homes to live in, to continually to return them to a more dangerous and exposed situation where they might be killed. This is a glaring example of being between the deep blue sea and the devil, being between the fire and the water. Let me take this paraphrasing from our forefather who told us that um, going to the choice they gave us by joining either Nigeria or uh, Cameroon. He said it is like choosing between the lion and the tiger. Which one are you going to go? So it is the same thing when our refugees who have even found comfort. One thing, the highest quality in human existence is the gift of life. The fact that you are still alive, and it is quoted that where there is life, there is hope. At least our refugee communities, you have your hope. You are still in existence in Nigeria. Anybody who will be telling you that, oh, you can come home, come and go to your village, they are taking you to where nobody will be able to ask whether you are alive or dead. And in this condition, where you are as a refugee, there is an eye of international um, um, protection over you, whether it is minimal, whether it is insignificant, but it is there. Because if you go back to that place where they rampage your village, they rape the girls, they kill the young men, who is going to give you what protection? You ask yourself, say, wait till before happen before they become the burn our villages, kill our boy picking them, rape our women them, we make and make all we run come for this place. Then you go just shino you for them now, quiet, quiet. Some person go kind of fool you for say, can't go you back. All thing don't finish. All thing don't finish for Osa. You don't forget that place where that time where they burn your corn, they burn all the chop the way una don't keep am for store for the next year. They burn the roof, they even kill. Wait till be happen before they begin to attack you that time they kill you way. Now the one can tell you say all thing don't finish. So even though we dey talk say our refugee communities, their situation dey the way e dey, but we dey still remind our people dem say e better for dey for that condition, because we go dey still dey cry, dey tell international community dey say see our people dem o, see our people dey dey for Nigeria, they need support. And then we wey we still dey for here, the support wey we go still dey send am for una small small, e dey still dey keep una alive. And the reason wey dem make una become that refugee wey we dey still fight am, e dey calm. So there is hope. There is hope. Even in that difficult condition, we know say there is hope. Ladies and gentlemen, the lines are open, the telephone lines are open. There's a number on your screen. If you have anything to say, if you are under this condition in ground one, in ground three, which is Ghana, and it goes further, wherever you are, you can still call and give your own, you can give a contribution, you can ask a question, and sitting here as the Deputy Secretary for Health and Social Services for the HSS, I can also chip in one or two things and throw highlights on your on your on your uh, um, on your cloudiness. Yes, because it is something, first of all, for Ambazonians to know that our people do need us. Our people do need us. Yes, they need us. Our refugees do need us. Our prisoners do need us. Yes, our displaced persons do need us. We cannot throw a blind eye and say all is well. All is not well. These are people who are fleeing from persecution. These are people who need our support. Yes. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think we have exhausted this part of refugee. And notwithstanding, when we have our Dr. Ellard, who is the Secretary of State for Foreign Affairs, who is also supposed to be here, and he will be, I suppose, will be joining us anytime from now. He is also where he is in charge of people with this status. As a lawyer, he works with them every day. I wish he was already here to throw more light on this, but I know he is going to do it when he will come. Because beg your pardon, let me just communicate something here. So, yes, another segment of this our today's program was supposed to be us reading some quotes and some write-ups from 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 some of our people that in the course of doing my research, because I don't come here to talk on my own. I talk with one or two or three or four or five people, or some people call me to say, you are going on today, this is, why don't you talk something on this? And then we share ideas before we come on this platform. It's not just for us to come and talk because we do not have absolute knowledge. So I was able to do some write-ups, to have some write-ups where I said they are worth reading and worth analyzing to the Amazonian people. They are worth reading, they are worth analyzing to the people because most of us on home front, most of us on ground one, on ground two, we are not in some of the platforms that some people are in, and some write-ups do not get to everybody. But if it is something that it is of relevance to get to our people, I think it is of importance that we let the people know. I will just start up with the topic. I will start with the one that our president, the president of the Federal Republic of Amazonia, there are some quotes that during his town halls, during his speeches, during I will not say speeches because I like to say during his exchange with the people of Amazonia, he makes some captions that it is so difficult not to remember them. But in the course of talking and not everybody having the same opportunity and time to be on those town hall meetings for our people on home front because of data and all whatnot, I will just somebody was able to write here that the president of the Federal Republic of Amazonia, the Amazonian leader who has stood the test of time and trusted by more than 98% of his people. So this is what President Sako said in one of his outings with the Amazonian people. He said this. He said, we now know better how to navigate the international community and what to expect. We also know where we are going, what we want, and what will help us reach our goal sooner than later. And now going in for what we need and not what people will give us because freedom is not given, it is taken. Now, not something. Plenty people they say, okay, una don't start the fight now. Make the freedom come. May we see. Na lie, freedom no man give you freedom. In the history of the whole world, look am from the beginning of times. How many wars the way they don't fight? Even the current war, the way they still go on. Many wars are going on. Some of we grow. The most common one people they don't hear Palestinian war. So they still dey fight until today. Una think say na because of freedom. But the thing I say that one their own, dey the way we dey. That one they say na God hand dey from the origin. You know, this our own wey President Sako say we now know better how to navigate the international community. That first time we just dey go, dey hope say everybody dey with we. But along the line, we came to see that they who are going, division of labor, they are the people who are going to the international community and communicating with them. If it were not so, President Sako will not come and be telling us that the international community, we now know better how to navigate the international community and what to expect. So if una don for some place, every Tom, Dick and Harry, they can't tell una talk the way una no wan hear. May no man not go begin to follow them. Because we know what we expect. We don't expect all the quick fixes and some of the half prescriptions that some people are trying to push down our throat. It will not work because we know what we expect. We also know where we are going to. We are going to a sovereign land, Amazonia. We dey go for our homeland. Ask mommy them, papa them. say wetin una want. Even as e get as e be, dem know say we want our country, na so dem go answer you, we want our country. Yes, even though dem dey still cover their mouth, dem go talk say we want our country. And even the one themselves wey dem don go because of longer throat, because of big eye, because of confusion, dem don go decide for chop with the enemy. Like how Judah dem bin decide for chop with the enemy, how Ahithophel dem bin decide for chop with the enemy. But dem sef dem dey still wish say if dat homeland can maybe na for their name. But the problem na say dem dey follow na the wrong road. That is why President say we also know where we are and going, what we want, and what will help us to reach it. It is not mediocrity. It's not two-side collapse. It's not talk for here today, talk for there tomorrow. It's not change. It's not change waka. These days, Nigerian go tell you say no be kereku waka. Where you go here, you go here, you go this side. Tomorrow, people cannot know. Somebody cannot know where you belong. You know, it is a scandal. It is so unpatriotic. So you should know where you want to reach in your journey and what are your goals. Any person wey no get goals, every person wey no get destination, that person wey today they will tell you say na caterpillar go move me for here o, then tomorrow they'll tell you say e no get flag, e no get anthem, e no get this. All that kind of person wey tell you that kind talk, una go look and say but this person too na who? Na why that way President Sako say we know where we are going. He said, we are not going in for what we need. We are going in for what we need. What we need, it is not special status. What we need is not referendum. What we need is not federation. Like now, some half people that they say, for some right up, whether they just like for satisfy public consumption, they will go still mention them because you cannot know the trick of the enemy. They'll say, let's just taste the waters and see how they are going to react. Or I say, oh, maybe some people will just tell me that it's a lie, maybe it's just coming. So, but we have to reiterate it, we have to state it loudly. So, all these quick fixes, may we go for referendum. We don't talk referendum, so some people they say we will not talk them again. But from time to time, we go still dey remind una because the people they still come behind. They still come behind for can dey try for fool to push, to try to deceive black man and for the deceive fellow Ambazonians. They say na only through that way we go fit tell these people dem say we no wan be with that people dem. But make una remember say thief man na thief man. Person wey e don talk, e don change work, change waka go here go here, no be person wey you fit trust am. Because even the La Republique themselves wey e don give them assignment say make dem waka confuse una, dem sef dem suspect dem. Dem know say this kind of person wey e go fit sell im own brother, no be person for trust am. So as we talk am, we know President Sako say we are now going in for what we need and not what people will tell us because freedom is not given. When some person go come tell you say make una just take special status run with it now, make una just take this federation wey na puppet leaders dem. Na puppet leaders, people who call themselves puppet leaders, na dem go come wey dem put dem for place, make dem come begin dey rule una so that La Republique go still get to grip over una. When e don pick im own of this hand, pick people, dem still put dem say okay we don gree, but when na dem go still dey control the whole thing. Make una know say for country, na una sef go dey take una own decision. Every person go dey for side. For contractors dem, na una go dey get contract for una own country, dey do the thing dem wey una get to do. Business people dem, na una go dey determine through una the different trade unions dem as well dey go dey be the function. Na get una own stamp, na get una own money, na get una own say for una own things dem. Ambazonian community, no be some one wey una go just sit down, dey go and bring somebody from somewhere to come and be ruling over you people in the name of governor. And that time we dey call our country say Federal Republic of Ambazonia, Federal Republic of Amazonia. This federation go dey for dey say the three regions, the three zones dem, Savannah, Atlantic, na the people dem for those places na dem go know how for vote their own governor. Na una go know for vote una people for senate for una parliament. Na una sef go know how for vote una own people dem for senate for una local government area. Who go be una local government chair? Na una sef go vote am. No be say una just sit down dey just send some person wey e dey wear brown khaki with cap say na una due dat. The person no even know wetin una need for inside una community. Una know something? There's so much benefit of being your own, of being your own self. Who no wan enjoy for be landlord? How many times when you couldn't pay your rent, landlord dey come knack, comot for my house today so na today you must comot. Who no wan be im own landlord? Make dat person put up im hand make me I see am. I no think so. Yes, another quote wey our president still make am wey I go fit read am, e say, fellow Amazonian, the world is not governed by right and wrong. It is governed by power and interest. Let's come back home. Where did the force of argument take us to in our struggle for over 50 years? Nowhere. You see, e say, fellow Amazonians, Amazonian pikin dem, say dis well so no be by way wey dey go talk say na dis one correct or na dis one wrong. Na dis well so na power and interest na im dey rule dis well. E dey tell Amazonian pipu dem say make all man comot come back, make we comot come back home, make we stop all dis argument because argument no dey take anybody for anywhere. You see, e no dey take anybody go anywhere. I go read some similar something wey one brother write am for here. Amazonian community, dis one na for una for analyse and educate ourselves. It is our community we are building here because it is only you and I that can build the nation that we want. Nobody else will come and build it for us. If we sit down every day, if we decide to kill one big antelope, you dey argue say you go take head, I go take, dis one say I go take chest, dis one say I go take leg, you say no, I wan take na the leg. The other one say no, you take two front leg, make I take the two back. The other one say no. If we sit down for there dey argue, know say dat antelope go sit down for front there, go rot ten. Or if e no only rot ten, as Wole Soyinka talk, when two brothers fight, a stranger reaps the harvest. You see am. The thing for dis our Amazonian own struggle is that there are so many people that have trampled on the way. There are so many people that are wearing sheep clothes under wolf skin in such a way that when you are even saying that let's come and work together, they'll be saying their own. This coming to work together is like-minded people, people who have gotten to the understanding of knowing what is our homeland, what it means to have a country. And if you know that you are for Amazonia, you are welcome to come and work. But not to say, today you say you are for Amazonia, tomorrow you say no, let's go and take referendum. Tomorrow you say no, let's go and take federation. Tomorrow you say no, let's just manage the special status that they have given us. This is not like-mindedness. It is nowhere close to like-mindedness. It is nowhere close to where President Sako is saying, because it is nowhere close to. It can only be closer when you say yes, it is Amazonia I want to build. Then you will see us sitting on the same place and doing the things. But notwithstanding, we are still telling Amazonians that we know it is not only in the Amazonian setup that people will say this. It is a natural phenomenon. If you ask it, even in the South African War, even in the Namibian time, in Angola, you had the Savimbi, you have all these Buthelezi in South Africa. They will always be there. They will always be there. Not even in the American War of Independence, there were Britons, there were Americans that did not want to leave the British. They wanted to still be under the British rule. Yeah, everywhere that we have had all of these things, there are still people who still think they should remain in prison. There are many people who still think that they should remain them in prison. Why should they come? Why should they come and why? So it is not, our case is not unique. Our case is not is not okay. Thank you. Yeah, our case is not unique. Let me just read this one last this one more quote. Thank you, our man, our SOS for Foreign Affairs is here. You can see me smiling. My 32 out is already here, and there are things that we are going to. Please, if you have not shared, there are things that we have to go and answer. What I'm not seeing you. I'm not seeing you, SOS. Your space is empty. Maybe you check your camera. Yes. So, according to the last quote that our president also said was that La République, that is La République du Cameroon, has not succeeded to push the international community to define us as the problem. La République has called us secessionists. The world calls us separatists. La République calls us terrorists. The world calls us uh, um, separatist fighters and liberators. La République called us southwest and northwest regions of Cameroon. The world now addresses us as Southern Cameroons or simply Ambazonia. So far, who do you see winning the war, La République or Ambazonia? You see, there's a small, small cash monkey. You see people dem wey dey know how to give their names, podo name dem. When they start to say my name na Lady B, people go deny say no, but your mama be born you give you name say Rachel. Why you wan carry end am say you be Lady B? As I continue call myself say I be Lady B, Lady B small time you see all man go start call me say Lady B. In a nutshell, na wetin that way e dey there. I thank una very much. SOS, you are welcome o, Ashia. I see as you just dey rush in. Ladies and gentlemen, you see our Secretary of State. If I tell you where he's coming from now, some people may not believe. As I was talking about refugee, he as a lawyer has a lot of them to handle their cases, deal with their cases, know where they can go, decide where to send them, and it's not an easy job. And to drive home 4 hours, drive to work 4 hours is not child's play. And to still come and sit on this chair from Ambazonia to still share some knowledge with us to encourage the Ambazonia community, it is not a child's play. SOS, you are welcome. Papa Shia. Your volume. Check your volume. Check your volume. I can't hear you. Check your volume. Yeah, while our SOS is checking the volume, let me just um put some other things here straight. I fulfill it to other quote again. No, I think quote. We'll continue to be reading those quotes to us each time we come like this. Yeah. Each time we come like this, we will read quotes from the president. Um, um, SOS, your volume. Please, our technical team check whether it is from him or. And before now, I got a very SOS. You are even frozen. I don't know why you are frozen. I got a very wonderful write up from one of our sisters. Let me just read it here and now that while the SOS is getting ready. I don't know SOS, you are frozen. I don't know if you are hearing me. Please, technical team, it is very imperative and important that he gets connected because we can't close today without handling this topic. I could in my own way, but I would like expertise to say. Yes, there is this part where there's our Amazonian mommy. If you see our mommy that our Amazonian mama that has the flags that are flying, and then you know it's so a beautiful picture. Everyone must have seen it, and we have it in our page in our library. If you go there, you will see. I call her mommy, Mamio. That's how I called her. She was able to ride. President Samuel Komesako has stood the test of time, indeed, and shown not only Amazonia, but the enemy La République du Cameroon and the world that the independence of Amazonia is non-negotiable. She highlighted some points. I will just read this her points, and I hope there's time for one other article that is so excellent, where the brother tried to distinguish. He did not try. He highlighted how those who are shouting should go back to the drawing board and go and make things right, because they started off by calling people Johnny just come. They were the ones that say they cannot work. Your volume is very low. I think I can hear you a little bit, but it's low. Okay, okay, you are there. You are there. Come on.
My
But I
volume
don't know. Yeah, your volume is enough
is
now, but you
100.
are freezing. Okay,
Yeah.
it is okay, though. Yes, but I don't know. Maybe the internet is a little bit unstable at home.
No, it's very
I know.
very stable.
Okay, it's stable. Okay, thank you, Doc. Welcome, oh, welcome again. You know, I told you I said that it's only you that can come and handle this topic, this talk. You know, when I started off, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Amazonians, fellow viewers, please share and invite people. Dr. Elad is here, and technical crew, please bear with us. We have to have some minutes or so to handle this issue and get it cleared on the way. Yes. Um, Doc Mike, the thing I really wanted us to talk here now in your opinion, as the Foreign Secretary of the Federal Republic of Amazonia, the Amazonian community is listening to you now. Is President Sako, is President Dr. Samuel Ikome Sako really an obstructor and a threat in safeguarding the Amazonian sovereignty per se? You know,
Okay, is that question for me?
it is for you because some people say it is so, it is so, you know. So the Amazonian community is out there because there are lots and lots of things that I know, that you know, that most of us, but that you can put it in a way that our people are going to know that he is, from the time some people started saying that Sako don't do this, Sako don't do that, Sako no one may will go here. But when Sako do this, they go break am. Sako do this, all those things. I'm just saying it, fellow Amazonian, in a sarcastic way because sometimes people toy with the name of our president because they want to get their way across. But the question is the president, Dr. Samuel Ekomisako, really a threat to coup plotters? Let me put it in another way: to coup plotters, to backstabbers, to blackleggers, to unity warrior, to all these groups that you know them. Is he really that a
Oh,
threat?
okay. Thanks, Michelle, and for having waited until I arrived. It was not easy, and I'm glad to be here. I really wish to be here. My wish has been fulfilled. It's not
Amen.
easy. Yeah. And fellow Amazonians, greetings to homeland, our ARF, our fighters, our refugees, all of you guys, um, gun salute for being steadfast, because it's not easy. Um, I will dive very fast to your question, because um, I don't know why that question, but yes, let me be honest. Why I can answer this question is not because it's President Sako. The question is, from this neoliberalism that we entered, I have been from day one till day now, and I will continue till day after. So all those people who call themselves leaders of groups, starting from our first president, Seseko Ayuk Tabe, to the second president now, President Dr. Samuel Komesako, I've been and I've worked with them 24/7. There's something that I'm going to say, which is, I'm not guessing, I'm saying what is the truth. Now, when you listen to the word destroyer, destroyer, what comes first to your mind is something negative, right?
Mm-hmm.
But let me say that word negative is also positive. Because if there are some plants that people like, this mushroom. I learned. It's not something that I know much, but I learned there are good mushroom and there are bad ones that kill people. That if you mistakenly eat the wrong mushroom, you're gonna die. So if I go to the bush and destroy all those killer mushrooms, I'm a good person, right? Because I've saved people. Is that so?
Yes.
Good. So obstructor doesn't also mean something negative. It depends who you are obstructing. And the people who promulgate this false identity of the president are those people who want us to stay the same position, or those people who have sold the revolution, or those people who are. So he is an obstructor to them. The Akwanga, the Choayaba, the Buaba, the Krisanu, the lady, I will not call her name because I've never considered her to be anything. People know, if people know who I mean, I don't care. Those people are those that he is an obstructor. And why he's an obstructor? Because he stands for the truth. He stands for the real thing that we are fighting for. You know, I listened to this man, this guy in Hong Kong. What do they call him? What is that his name? Capo. I listened to him just a little bit. I don't know. Somebody sent that thing to me and I clicked on it. When I'm driving my long distances, I used to listen to one or two of those things to wake me up early morning. And then when I just clicked on it, I listened him trying to say he's going to say it out. He was damn angry because of his being removed from Egg of Sea and whatever. And then he came to a point where he said, either is Lucas Ashu or Lucas Ashu. Those names are not, for me, they are all I don't know. He called that name. He said, look at this, Lucas Ashu, who came to me and was asking me to make him popular. That is the only thing I can retract from the whole of that tape, that audio. Which means it shows that there are some people in this revolution who are in here to be popular. I don't know before 2017 where these people were. in a dungeon, in a hole. Were they existing or not? If you take a revolution to make yourself popular, no, he said it that local ASU came and was begging him to make him popular. That is the statement.
Yeah.
Quote word for word, verbatim. I'm not saying out of my own head. So that makes me understand why people see President Dr. Samuel Komesako as an obstructor. I have told a lot of people I hate to use that word I, right? But due to our conversation and explanation, I have to use it. I have made it clear that someone, let me take myself. I don't know about you, although I know you well, RACHAEL, you are my neighbor here. Let me make it clear that President Sako does not command anybody in this revolution. He negotiates. When I say negotiate, which means he brings up something, an idea, a topic, discuss it, people agree. He don't force it to anybody. He cannot force an idea into my skull when I say no. So if someone like me, I stand behind President Sako, know that he is a good man. He's doing the thing good. Let me say it, and people who are listening, come and disprove me. They were molding me to be the president of the coup plotters. Me, Dr. Ella, I was their number one candidate. And so that period, they told me all lies about the president. And today, till today, they themselves are being caught hands down on audios saying they need proof. They need proof. Because if they don't prove all what they were saying, then President Sako is going to be at the top now. So please, they need even the list up to today. They have not brought anything out for all the business with CDC, for all the money. Now they are in court and they are paying back money that they took from the interim government. Why are they paying back that money? The very money that they went around and said President Sako stole. Why are they paying back now the money? Where is the money coming from? The money that he stole. Where is it coming from that they are paying? They took it from where? You see, those are things Ambazonia don't reason. And the things that is killing us in this revolution is because everybody have this thing. You see this thing? Everybody have it. Somebody will sit in Hong Kong and write nonsense and put there. I sat with some young guys here in my house where I don't know, it was yesterday or day before yesterday. And they were telling me stories that I know is not true. And they were telling me the stories. So when I brought them into their senses, and I told them, look, young man, I'm a lawyer. And there are two types of lawyers. There are good lawyers and there are bad lawyers. I, Dr. Eller, am a bad lawyer. You know why? Because when you bring your case in front of me, I tell you, my brother, especially my African brothers and sisters, I'll tell you, this thing like this will not work. It is not going to work. They will sit in front of me, they will agree and accept with me, and yeah, and then they go behind and start talking rubbish about me, what they are used to. Then they will go and meet the white saviors, white lawyers. As you just come and meet them, they say, okay, go and pay €150 first for registration. You go and pay your money, and they tell you it's going to be 500, 600 euro. You have to pay half of it. You pay. They go to court, and your case it doesn't go through. You've paid him, and you will still pay the rest of the money. Otherwise, you will go to jail.
Doctor, let me ask you something. Let me ask you
Yeah.
something. In connection to this thing, I really wanted us to talk about this threat. You were at the helm. You were sitting in there for example, the Swiss talk.
Yeah.
and you followed all the procedure, how everything was manipulated until it metamorphosed to where we are today. How successful could what did they see in the Swiss talk that made this group of um uh, people, this group of, should I say, how would
Just
I
leave them
describe
as
them?
people. Go ahead as people.
Yeah,
They are people. Yeah.
yeah. So what was really in there that they worked so tirelessly?
Well, number one, let me tell you, and this is true. I will put it, we Africans, a lot of us, some of us, have seen white man. The Swiss people, we were in the hot discussion with them. Adamant to tell them that no matter that we are seated here, doesn't mean we don't know what we are doing. But is that if you are a victim, if you are in the court of law, even if you are a lawyer or a magistrate, you don't defend yourself. You need to hire another lawyer if you yourself know the law, right? So I told them that no matter that we are seated here, doesn't make us people who are like zero. And I pinpointed a lot of things in front of them. And you know what? I will never forget this question that I was asked. If you so hate white people and Europe, what are you doing here in our continent? The Swiss people told me that, you know. Sorry for that. So they gave me that question. And I told them, you know what? I don't hate white people and Europe. But I dislike the way you people visualize Africans. You think we are so stupid. So the tirelessness of these separatists, which La Republique has the right to call them separatists because they are really the real separatists. All the Akwangas, the Choayabas, and the rest. The tirelessness that they were was to walk out their way to make their living. They were not going there to negotiate for anything. I remember we were accused that we were in Swiss and we were giving money, whether it's 5,000 or 10,000 or how many thousand. It's because these people had that
Conviction.
yeah, their aim was that they will sit there as leaders of whatever they want to call themselves, and anything that will be negotiated will. I remember being blank adamant to Boo Herbert because they wanted that they select a group of 2 or 3 people, which Boo Herbert, Akwanga, and one other bulldog would have been there. And those people have to be paid by the Swiss for attending any of these meetings and negotiations. I was the one who shattered all that thing. So a reason why you see they don't like this interim government is because a lot of benefit that they have already anticipated was shattered. And I would say was shattered by me because I was always there representing the interim government and the president. So a
Yeah,
lot of
because you're
things. There was a time there where there is an audio where Boo Herbert openly sent to the president asking the president to dismiss me from the interim government. Yeah. That is not a ESA. The audio, I still have it till today. To dismiss me because he knows I'm a pest to them. And this is why today they went to Canada, hurriedly ran there to go and take their envelopes. Where are those people who were in Canada? After Canada, what next? So you can see why President Samuel Komesako is now an obstructor to them. But he is an instructor to those people who reason and who are out to see that we arrive Boya. So he's an obstructor, but an instructor, or a destructor, but an instructor to us. And it is like this in this world today. If you are in a group of people who smoke or who drink alcohol a lot, and you don't drink, you are a bad person. I think you know that. It's a common
Yeah.
phenomenon in the world.
They'll say you are a
If you
weak
sit
link.
among 10 people when 9 people are so interested, they like drinking or jumping with one woman and the other and does this, and you are not that type of people. I say, the man and Budman may get out. You become a useless person. They are the bosses. And that is the same thing that is happening in this revolution today. Those who are focused, those who want to arrive Boya, and those who want to own their own land, which is called the Federal Republic of Amazonia. We are the obstructors. We are the. I was in the forum. They were talking about Tibonage, and I can see this so-called this guy in Norway or Kennedy or whatever they call him, hailing Tibonage and saying, "We don't know how God does His own thing." I long completed church 11 years ago, but I was reading His gospel. You don't know how God do His own things. God has Tibonage has been sent by God to come and save us. Oh my God! I can't imagine that today. A learned person of that nature will write such a thing in a forum of about 200 people to read. And then she quoted one other woman, and then he talked about referendum, and quoted God, I can't really explain all those things here because I was like, am I dreaming or am I seeing this guy that I know really entering the trap of a white man? Before you came up, before you brought me with video, you were quoting the president who said there is no something you read there about the president. You know,
I read the one, fellow Amazonians. The world is not governed by right and wrong.
I'm
It is
wrong.
governed by
Okay,
power and interest.
good.
Yes.
You know, I answered that guy and I told him I have Tibonash, and I made the statement that if a gamma lizard come up for up, he fall for down. If he look left, look right, whether some man go clap for you. If no man not clap for you, he shake his head, he praise himself. So I'll be strong man. I'll be strong person. And we, some of us, we make sure that this white know that I don't damn care people. They know that we know what we stand for. Enough is enough. With this, is becoming a different continent now. It's not that continent of Paul Biya, the Mobutu Seseko in those days where they were just coming there and doing what they want. Africa has metamorphosed. Yeah. Sometimes if you go somewhere and you sit like a mumu, people look at you, they say, this man is unquiet man. No, you don't know you're reading them. We've read them all. We have them in our palms. Come and tell us today what to do. The Kenyan president, who is now the new Kenyan president, is telling them the truth. It's not that African that we go, somebody like Putin will sit down and invite 54 head of states to come and sit them. Or Joe Biden will sit in America and invite 54 head of state to come. What can you discuss for head of state with different countries? What can you discuss? That is not the negotiation. When President Sarko speaks of negotiation, he speaks of negotiation of equal terms. That they are not there as somebody who know more than me. We are there to negotiate. And let anybody who don't know the word negotiation go back and read it. Negotiate means give away something cherishable to you, and the other also do that, and then you come to an agreement. If people don't know that, negotiate does not mean you have your right because this is that, and with this, and because of that. No, that is why President said his rule and power, and the power that we have to show now is the ground power. People are saying for 7 years we are not capable of bringing La Republic to the table. And then they will still sit down and quote countries like Eritrea, Somalia. They forget how many years those countries fought. We, for 7 years, have come to, we created a government. We have departments, the LGAs and the counties. Only for 7 years, what we have, countries that were there, the Colombia and all the other ones, they could not do that for 20 years. Go sit down and quote them. Look at Eritrea, South Sudan. Go read their history before they were declared independent. We were almost at the brink. If you compare the speed we have used, alacrity that we have come today, those before they even reached this place where we are, they took not less than 15 to 20 years. And who have brought us from that of no Rico and the rest were kidnapped? Who brought us till today where we are? Who took the helm? Who paved that way until today we are? Is it not the President Sako? Yeah. So what do they want? If you see them telling you that they want to remove him from power, they want to take him off the one, it's because he's not being bought behind the scene. And I will even blame the president in front of all the Amazonians because he should come out there and call the Buebeks, the Akwanga, and all the other people who have tried to connive him to come and take his own share, and he
SOS,
has refused. He should
you
come out
know,
and call their names.
SOS, you know, our president, the president is not that kind of person.
Yeah,
You know,
I
the
know very
president is
well,
not
RACHAEL. What I've
that kind
noticed
of.
today in this today world is when you are quiet, you are a fool. When you speak out, people run away from you. So let
Yeah,
me say this: Amazonians stay fast and know. If people like you, like North and others, are behind President Sako, is because they he will go astray. He will form. When I say astray, anybody can go astray because we are human beings. The day he will jump into the sellout groups, that very day he's leaving. So Amazonians, we stand behind this man, not because sometimes it be fine for pigeon because he knows something. Then I say, I really ask myself, say, President Sarkozy beat who? When you see people, then when they get muscles, they get this, they still stand for a back. You see, that means say we also we just too dull. That is the reason why we need to follow Arnold Choayaba. If any human being goes sit down for this world, they follow Choayaba. Where even picking way there for primary school for Amber Land, no say that man a la Republic worker. Then how Nabi in our own Capo Daniel that they release all their secret out there. Now we the talk no. If not the interim government begin talk fighting. And Mara shall beg for 1 second. I don't mention some name here where I the two listen to people. Just this week, I don't almost more than 50, if I count them, Amazonians, where they claim for this thing. The struggle, doctor, the struggle now, no, the struggle still this, so this and this, this in-house fighting. This will be the support this struggle, but now the way they don't take them, the way things they don't be, the way you see, people question when me ask, name of fight for the finish where they not be get no in-house fight. They be dey go for church every day, go pray, then they come to go take gun, go fight, come pray. Then they name me one country. The thing where the key we inside this revolution. A lot of us just enter the revolution with social media, our own revolution. Now. Just no iota of politics, revolution. So man of ever get time for it to take the French Revolution, the Ukrainian Revolution, the Sri Lanka of former Czechoslovakia, all those. Just take your small time, even at 20 minutes, read and see the division, everything.
SOS, SOS. May I ask you, SOS?
Yeah, I hear you.
I know say you not be person for defense side. You not be person for defense, but as well would you try for talk about, would you try for present to the Amazonian community? As we are trying to present to the Amazonian community, the some of the, some people say President Sako na him dey make am before thing dem dey name the coup. I want me to talk some more about this our the various fighters, because I dey even read from my comments for here some people that dey still dey, I no know whether they send them or they no send them, but for the fact say President
If
Sako
I
don
made a
advise
send them, if I
um,
send them,
advise fighters, make everybody align to LGA. All these things make people align to the LGA. And how has it also been a threat? Because we know of all this group of Amigo, Commando, Ivo, all this one the way they die. Everyone like no pity the way all of them they fall out from the mainstream, wey end them the way they don't end. So what if this group of people that we decide for shidon under the LGA and their structures? Wetin be for really, as President Sarkodie always talk, how e for be?
like for now, simple answer. For there, boya now, La Republique for already give up because you 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 the really understand your territory well. Side where you come out. When we say there are LGAs and counties, the President we don't put this thing succinctly clear. It not mean say we Ambazonians we get some interrelation or link where it be thread tied. You know when you tie thread, yeah. Especially like you, RACHAEL, you be Boya Pikin. You get even chairman Emos when a Boya Pikin. You get me for Kupe Maninguba. I be Fako Pikin, born and bred in Mutengene, Cham Republic. We there so, you know me say when they say Anybody may go for your own LGA, and I will be Mutengene today, and I'm a very brave fighter. I will come on now go for Nguti or for Bangem or for Tombe or for Nyaso. So any place where they go take gun, the key work like food. If you and an expert fighter, you are determined to fight, and you are someone like me, pro FACO, be in your FACO area and fight there and support that LGA with the military with their military skills. You don't need for Komo go now because some person Jikwa, he grow for a corner, born and bred, until not even know road for go for upstation or Bamenda, you get for go now because they talk so. So that's the confusion. People need to understand what the president try to put. But now, those were the day on the ground and fight on the ground, you fight with your GA. They make less confusion, effectiveness, and pave the way for us to come to Uboya. Those where they want jump from one place to other, they want be for Gokutunja, they want go for Fako, they want come down to all the area, they want move go for Kupe Maninguba. Those are those people who are now the struggle bent to do what they are supposed to do. They want benefits. They want place where you have the milk and honey, how we anthem the talk. So that the thing they confuse them. They feel say this other group they be well catered for, or that and when they go reach for that area, then they beat that people they go block road. That be cut from. They extort money from people. So they're not if they concentrate on what they were sent to do. And even though people are there for their LGA, people are there for their county, RACHAEL, we have to know that we have a commander, the CIC. So there is no revolution where you know have you not get what did they call and say a ceiling where it covered down, trickle down to the area. There's no revolution where you get that is why we Africans in our own struggle and things where we always have back in our continent. They ever see we on top jeep. Look what they happen now for Sudan. Imagine that each and every area, every parachute be one being a commander. Now two generals that they fight for Sudan. All the other people by colonel, by lieutenant, by what they are yet behind one, the other people that they behind this one, and they fight. Although I not support the fight, I just give that as an example.
For structural purpose.
For structural purpose. So there is a commander, and the commander in chief is called Dr. Samuel Komensako. You know, we get Chua Yabade say the commander in chief. Akwanga say the commander in chief. Well, no know what Bua, but and the other one then to the wrong on a commander in chief stealing. They command their own. I don't know, but what I'm trying to say, they will be alienate to their ears, but report to the commander-in-chief, discuss issue with the commander-in-chief in order to make this furnace. It should be a furnace, you know. If you take, I don't know, I don't have a paper here. I will show an example. It have to be like this. This is how our revolution has to look like. Yeah, it has to go in this manner, whereby something like something have to be like this, a furnace. Yeah, like this. This is the command, and it goes all to the other angles here, the LGS, the counties, and all this thing. That's what they call the furnace structure of a revolution. So for those where they just be scattered around, now they cause the confusion where we still march past for the same place every day. And when they will realize themselves and take to the orders of the president in order to align with their LGS and county, we will move fast.
Yeah.
And for those where they say that they make their comments for the whether now which comment that they make, now the people who I talk say this thing they get that for their hand. Yeah, everybody can write any rubbish. But the fun is that we need to be reading that they educate them every day to make them come to their senses. Because most
Okay.
of them are ignorant of what they are doing.
Okay. Doc, maybe I read you some one article here because technical team don't tell we say our time don't pass spent.
Good and fine, we've done a lot.
Yeah,
Next
let
time,
me just read an article here that somebody wrote and sent to most fora. It says it is easier for an individual to betray or sell a fighter than a community or government. It is easier for an individual to betray or sell a fighter than a community or government. I believe say
is he
this
asking a
person,
question or is making a comment?
no, he is just making a comment and a
Mhm.
call on the Southern Cameroon struggle. It is easier for an individual to betray or sell a fighter. It can be a fighter, it can be the struggle, it can be anything than a community, that me and you, or like a government. You know, people have to always break away from the whole to be able to do any evil thing that they want to do. And this has been the phenomenon of our government, seeing people who succeed in some evil plans or tricks when they identify themselves in small group factions. He said, but it takes an action to produce a reaction. When Paul Biya declared war on the people of former British Southern Cameroons, they answered by embracing self-defense. That is, the people of Southern Cameroon took on to self-defense, while others decided to fight or take instructions from individuals or groups like ADF, SOCADEF, Sword of Ambazonia, BSEROF, etc. Smart and conscious individuals aligned with the interim government, with their government through their counties and LGAs. So it is, I just want to read it out because it was one of the things I was supposed to read, because it is also in line with what that we've been saying here. And it says fighters who decided to align with groups or individuals have have either been betrayed or sold out by those they regarded as their lords. Where is Ayeke, General Ivo, FM Transporter, Commando, Cross and Die, Mad Dog, No Pity, Shinarambo, Grandpa of Awing, etc.? Where are all of these fighters? That's what will happen to anyone still considering himself ADF or listening to Chris Anu, Marianta, Akuru, Ayoktabe, and those irrelevant activists. They either kill in order to conceal an evidence or are sold for cash to La Republique. I'm just reading this thing because
No,
some people are
those
also
things,
commenting.
Rachel,
Mm-hmm.
whenever you come online, you
Yeah,
come on, please post this type of write-ups because
yeah,
you know they say if you want hide
knowledge.
something for if you want hide something for we Ambazonians, put an answer book because when you read and so the enter for here for people come up for here. That thing where you don't read them is that's as you rightly said, that's what we're
Yeah,
saying here. Because
yeah,
individuals have been, where are all those names that have been mentioned? Where are they? Because they went and aligned themselves with individuals. Those who are aligned with the government, yeah, they can be killed. They are military, they are fighters. It can happen. But their chances of surviving is 80% greater than the other ones, those who are aligned with groups. Because groups is for interest. That Capo Daniel, that is audio, that is video that he came out with recently. He's talking how Chua made so fighters were killed. He was naming them there. Because when now the person doesn't take to your command, because those who align, those who go and get fighters to align to them as individuals, they have a purpose, and their purpose is to extort money from people. That is all. They don't have anything. They want to be getting money from people and make themselves rich. But you cannot do that. A government cannot get fighters that go and extort money from people, because the government is not being governed by a single person. So maybe you might have I might have the idea that we should do that as a government. You will not want it, and you dismiss it. And if one person dismisses it, that is all. It doesn't work anymore. But an individual give the command, go go Batibo, go stand for that place or market. When I put gun, put bridge, everyone pay 5,000. If they not pay, take them this, the ransom. All those are those are individuals. That nonsense. This interim government. Yeah. So wait, before one finish,
So,
I would like
mhm,
my talk for people where they for La Republique. Our Amazonians where they don't cross over to the foreign La Republique. So let them be very careful, because I hear, I not see them. One lady be one show me a video where some military people or police people, they accuse some two ladies from, I don't know, from Kumba or so, that they catch them with the human penis or something like that. To be sincere, I don't know very well, but they told me the story, and the person wanted to show me the video how these women were suffering, innocently crying, that was something that was
it's
staged.
set up.
These our people who are in La République du Cameroon should know that, and they should know that we in the foreign affairs, we are working tirelessly in Africa and Europe and America to make sure they are being recognized on what they are going through, the suffering they are there. This is not the first time. There was another one that I saw.
Eh,
I know about that one. The child was raped and killed from Amazonia. A small
Doc,
francophone boy was
wait,
beating a young Amazonian lady. All those videos are out there. They are viral.
did that.
So they should be careful with this xenophobic attitude of the La Republique people. They should really, I don't know, we cannot come and shield them. They should shield themselves. Because I will tell you that this thing that happened with the thing of a penis or something, whether it was real or fake, the idiots that were beating those women or hold hostage those two ladies must wanted to be out with them. Once you say no, they state you up. And since you are an Anglophone or an Ambazonia, as they call us, Biafra or whatever, you're gone. Nobody supports you. But we're working tirelessly behind the scene to make sure all recognize and see how. But since the president have said it's only interest and power that is being governing this world, we will also put the interest and power behind.
Yes, meaning that we put the interest and power so that people should see the reasons why they should fight for their homeland. You should fight
Of
to
course.
take the power that is in sovereignty, the power that is owning your own land, and the interest that is there that everybody is looking for your minerals, your human resources, and your natural resources. You should be able to have power and control over them because that is the interest people are looking for. So why wouldn't us as Amazonians, rich background, cultural background, mineral, rich soil and airspace and water space, why wouldn't we also take interest to fight to have that control and power over our assets, our resources? So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how many sorry I will say today to the Amazonian people. I was so clueless that the news was supposed to come after us, and then we've been into the time. and I wasn't watching my phone. I've had several indications that we've stray into the time. So, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to bear with us today, and we'll be taking our leave. Dr. Ellard, Secretary of State for Foreign Affairs, thank you for the highlights the inputs that you gave
Before we go,
after.
just 1 second before we go, RACHAEL. President
Okay,
Sako is an obstructor to the sellout blacklegs and an instructor to those who are steadfast and determined to reach Boya. Thank you.
thank you. Thank you very much. That was really the the main piece of what you just concluded here. So for people who are saying that President Sakona this one now because he never leave Kereku Waka people they made it succeed. Now because all the people the way that the key fighters that the derail people they want go tell people they made they leave refugee camp made they run. They want tell prisoners made the stay in confusion. They want they go spoil all the valuable negotiation talks dem like the Swiss talk wey e be for Fika, all the things. So because the man never go rub him up, because he never put his hand inside, never that they look and say, why the man of fit spoil like we? Why he not fit just spoil this man? If some way dey the for fit don bend him neck, but God na the keep it, and God he is leading the God ordained struggle. So for any person wey go dey sleep, the think say this person no wan more na lie. No say na ye sef look all their names dem na all of them wey they don go kill their brother, dem kill their woman, dem kill fighters dem, betray people dem. Na dem dey wan go take special status, na dem wan go take referendum, na dem wan go take puppet federation, na dem just wan sell Amazonia. But because the president suppose the government, the people dem say no, it shall not work. That's why they go talk say but he is an instructor to those who say we must get to Buya. So if you dey go to Buya, know say you dey on the instructor side. Once again, thank you very much, and we hope to see us again next Tuesday. And I apologize for taking so much time due to my cluelessness, and I pray that we are going to be successful. We are going to keep our time, and thank you very much. Have a blessed week ahead of you. Thank you, fellow Amazonians, and all our friends, sympathizers, and solidarity wishers. Thank you very much. Goodbye for.
We the people, ABC Amber TV, Ambazonia Broadcasting Corporation. The voice of the voiceless, the voice of Ambazonia, connecting the world from Africa. With untold stories, Africa's best.